It's 6:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at Memorial Park, and we're all set for action. It's East Coast Collegiate Baseball, and it's the Quakertown Blazers playing host to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Miners. I'm Rocco Pellegrino, joined alongside Julia Henry for tonight's action. It should be a good one. Excited to be here on hand at Memorial Park. We'll get you the starting lineups here first. For the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Miners, they will bat first as they are the road team, 4-4 overall in the season, a 2-1 away record. For the leadoff hitter, it'll be center fielder Evan Melberger, the junior from Wilkes. And the two-hole will be the right fielder Luke Kopak. At third, it's first baseman Jake Milan. At the cleanup spot, it's the catcher J.P. Kuzik. At DH, it's Patrick Munley. In left field, it's Josh Botker. At third base, it's Casey O'Brien. The shortstop is Zach Pachewski. And at first base, it's Jack Mathis. On the bump, it'll be Jake Mamoli, the right-handed pitcher. He'll get the start for the Miners and for Quakertown, the defensive setup for them. At first base, it'll be Casey Vaughn. Over at second base, it'll be Dylan Broderick. Over at third base, it'll be Ty Everett, who has been playing shortstop and normally leading off, but tonight he's in the two-hole. Catching is Jackson Schollenberger. The pitcher on the bump is Ben Jones for the Blazers, the sophomore from Westchester at the Division II level. He will be the one on the hill leading things off, the defensive side of things for the Blazers. In the outfield at left field, it'll be Logan Sig in the 9-hole. And in right field, Mason Woolwine. And in center field, Grayson Kovac. We're ready to get things started here as the Blazers look to battle back to the 500 mark. They are currently sitting at 3-4 after splitting a road Tuesday and a Wednesday matchup. They won the first of two against Scranton, who is here tonight, and the second a loss, unfortunately, for the Blazers, as they fell to Southside, who now sit atop the Northern Division at 5-2. Julia, I'll start with you. Thoughts on what we saw on Saturday in the doubleheader, and then what you think the Blazers have to do to get in the home win column here tonight?
I think the two big keys, I interviewed Coach Mike Fitzgerald after the game, and he spoke about how last week they missed Wednesday and Thursday due to the rainouts. So that's kind of why they treated it as that bullpen session, and they wanted to keep their pitchers fresh. That's why they went 2-2. So I think seeing tonight at home, hopefully the starters go 4 or 5 innings and able to keep that consistency and control is a big key. And the other big key is the offense. There just wasn't really any offense on Saturday, and who maybe it was just nerves of a home opener or missing those 18 innings. But I think now that they've kind of had a full regular week, kind of getting really deeper into the season, hopefully the bats are here and the offense can continue and happen.
Melberger flies this one out to center, and ranging in is Kovac. He makes the catch for out number 1 as he dives to the ground.
Now batting for the Miners, right fielder number 23, Luke Kovac.
So Ben Jones gets the first out. Melberger is retired. So now the two-hole hitter for Scranton will come to the plate. That's Luke Kopak, the right fielder. He takes that pitch in for a strike as the home plate umpire makes a nice little emphatic strike one call. So one gone here in the top half of the first inning. Ben Jones delivers. The righty has one chopped right back up the middle. Ranging over from short is Ryman, but it sneaks through into the outfield for a one-out base hit, and a runner is aboard.
First baseman, number 31, Jake Millen.
And Ben Jones, his last outing for the Blazers. He pitched on Saturday in the doubleheader against Mercer. 2 innings pitched in that game, 43 total pitches thrown. A rough outing, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 2 Ks. So into the left-handed batter's box comes the first baseman, Jake Milan, the senior from FAU. He takes the first pitch outside. It's 1-0. Both offenses in this game kind of struggling a little bit. It's the 2 lowest offensive outputs in terms of runs scored for the ECCBL, as the runner from first, Kopak's going down. The throw down from Schollenberger is not in time, and he swipes the bag. He's into scoring position with 1 out. So Kopak picks up his 4th stolen base of the year. He's now 4 for 5 overall. It's a 1-1 count as Jones gets ready to deal the lefty Milan. That pitch misses outside. It's 2-1. Milan 0 for 4 against Quakertown on Tuesday, but he is playing at the Division I level, a high Division I level for that matter, at FAU. The 2-1 pitch from Jones nabs the outer half of the zone. It was a nice call for Jones on the bump, we'll say that. And the count moves even to 2-2. Jones holds at the hip and looks back to the runner in scoring position. That's Kopak. It's one gone here in the top half of the first. The 2-2 pitch. It's fouled back and he'll stay alive.
And that's another thing, I guess, watching this game, thinking about it, is a big thing with Saturday is Mercer just didn't swing at close pitches. They held off, they knew the zone, and they were very disciplined in the box. So I think that's something to notice if Scranton is as disciplined as Mercer was, because I think that kind of hurt the Blazers and hurt the pitchers, that they didn't swing at some of those right on the line pitches.
Jones misses with the 2-2 outside again, and it's now a full count coming to Milan. One gone here in the top half of the first inning. Runner reached aboard in Kopak with one out on a base hit up the middle. He stands on second. He takes his lead as Jones holds at the hip. Here's the full count offering, and he gets a swing and a miss. Milan down on strikes, the first K of the night, and there's 2 gone in the first.
Now batting catcher, number 19, J.P. Cusick.
So the catcher, J.P. Cusick, hitting in the 4-hole, the cleanup spot. A junior from Fairfield, he'll step in now. He's batting 158 this season. But he has been able to work 4 walks, so he's been aboard a nice set of times here early in this young campaign. The first pitch, he swings and grounds it through the left side. That'll sneak in for a base hit. Kopak will get the wave. The throw from Sig out in left field is cut off by Ty Everett, and it's 1-0, the Miners lead.
Designated hitter, number 7, Patrick Mundy.
So this has been something that's plagued Quakertown throughout this early 2024 season. They're not getting on the board first, and the first innings have been rough. We saw that on Saturday against Mercer here at home, as the Mammoths scored 3 in game 1 of the doubleheader in the top half of the first, and then 4 in the top half of the first in game 2. They now trail 1-0 early on as Jones delivers a first pitch strike to Munley. So got to weather the storm here if you're Quakertown as they fall down once again. This pitch is flown out to right field, and that's going to bloop in for a hit. Woolwine will stop it in right, and the runners advance for a 2-out base hit for Patrick Munley.
Now batting left fielder, number 30, Josh Bachner.
So with 2 outs continuing to work. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. We're back here. That one was grounded by Bachner over to third. And Ty Everett stepped on third for the 3rd out of the inning. So that'll do it here in the top half of the first. The Miners get out of it with a run. They score first, and the Blazers will look to respond in the bottom of the first. Stay with us here on the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel. Casey Vaughn will lead things off for the Blazers. A change to the lineup as Vaughn has been hitting in the 2-hole sporadically, and Ty Everett has been the normal leadoff hitter for this team. But tonight, Casey Vaughn will start in the leadoff position, and Ty Everett will bat in the 2-hole. Vaughn playing second base. I believe I screwed that up in the opening, but it's okay. As he takes the first pitch in for a strike, it's 0-1. It's Jake Mamoli on the mound, the right-hander for Scranton. He's working quickly in this young season. Only one earned run allowed through 6 innings, and he nabs the outer half of the plate. It's 0-2 quickly to Vaughn.
This so far has made some pretty emphatic strike calls.
I like it. It's
I
a
do.
little unconventional, but I enjoy the emphatic strike calls. As Mamoli holds at the hip and fires the 0-2 way outside. A waste pitch moves it to 1-2. Vaughn leading the team in walks. He's worked 8 so far through the first 7 games. He's also leading the team in stolen bags. That's why he's hitting in the leadoff spot. The 1-2 pitch. He looks at that one go by him for a called third strike on the outer half of the plate, and he looks back to the home plate ump. Not so friendly.
Now batting third baseman, number 1, Ty Everett.
So Everett will come to the plate after a interesting third called strike. And Everett now hitting in the 2 spot. He was 0 for 4 yesterday against Southside. 1 for 4 against Scranton on Tuesday in the 3-1 victory. First pitch to him, he fouls it right over towards the Quakertown Blazers dugout, and it's 0-1. Everett hitting a .299 in his collegiate season at Washington College at the Division III level, going into his junior year next season. And he's down 0-1. He leaves that one low and away, and it's 1-1.
And already down a run, the Blazers would like to even it up here. So hopefully we see some offense in the bottom of this inning.
The leadoff spot's been a little bit of a struggle for the Blazers as Everett takes that one. It's 2-1. We saw in the game against Mercer in game 1 of the doubleheader, it took until the 7th inning for the leadoff hitter to reach a board in each inning. 2-1 pitch coming from Mamoli. He leaves that one low, and Everett has worked it into 3-1.
I like the lineup changes, though. I think that's one of the better approaches to trying to find that success is just putting guys in different places.
3-1 pitch. This is a short ground ball. He nubs it over to first base. Going to be a tough play for Milan, and he can't get there in time. Everett's aboard with a 1-out infield base hit.
Now batting for the Blazers, catcher, number 26, Jackson Schoenberg.
So it's now the catcher, Jackson Schollenberger, the redshirt sophomore at Hartford Community College. He digs in now with Everett on first. He reaches aboard for his 5th hit of the season. This one a little nubber that just kind of died on the infield grass. Tough play for the first baseman, Milan, and Mamoli, the pitcher, on the bump. So Schollenberger now hitting in the 3-hole. He leaves the first pitch outside, and it's 1-0. Schollenberger, he was 1 for 1 pinch hitting yesterday against Southside. He's up towards the top of the team in the batting average category. He's 7 for 18 overall. He fouls this one out of play, foul, down the right field side. And the count moves even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Everett at first has some speed. He's attempted to steal 2 bags in this 2024 season. Unfortunately, was caught stealing twice. Could try to change the tag here. It's J.P. Kuzik behind the plate, catching. He's on one knee, and he is able to take that one. It misses. It's 3-1 as Schollenberger, or pardon me, 2-1. Schollenberger, I think himself, was a little bit surprised that one missed the zone. Everett slides back in safely over to first on the disengagement. Blazers currently in the 4th and last spot in the ECCBL Northern Division. They'd be eliminated if the season started today or ended today, but that's not the case. Everett's going down from first in the throw from Kuzik, not in time, and Everett gets his first stolen base of the 2024 year.
You kind of foreshadowed that one there.
Yeah, I did, by giving him the reverse jinx. Now 1 for 3 on the year. Everett, the 2024 most improved player for Washington College. Schollenberger in a 2-2 count now with one gone to the bottom half of the first, and that one misses from Mamoli outside. It's 3-2. A chance here early for the Blazers to try to respond. Three-two pitch from Mamoli. It's a check swing, and that one's in the dirt. And Schollenberger will work a walk.
Now batting for the Blazers, first baseman, number 23, Dylan Broderick.
So a nice at-bat there for Schollenberger, and he's aboard working his 4th walk of the season. So Dylan Broderick now hits in the cleanup spot yesterday against Southside. That's when that lineup change was made. He was hitting in the 4-hole there, and this one is flown out the right field, shallow, and coming on to make the catch is Kopak. He might have a chance for a double play, and he throws it to second to double up Ty Everett. Unfortunate there for the Blazers as Everett getting aggressive on the base paths, and it comes back to haunt Quakertown. So that'll do it in the bottom half of the first. The Blazers leave 2 stranded, and they trail 1-0. Casey O'Brien will lead things off. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Miners as they get a crucial double play there as Ty Everett getting a little too aggressive on the second base bag. It was about 3/4 down the line. Unfortunately got doubled up on a shallow fly ball out to right field from Dylan Broderick. So back on the bump, it is still Ben Jones. He's ahead in the count, 0-1. He delivers this one's grounded to third. Ty Everett scoops it up, and he throws across in time for out number 1.
Shortstop, number 11, Zach Pazuski.
So now Zach Pazuski will come to the plate. Love the name. Silent C in there. It's Paczziewski. Digs into the right-handed batter's box here to face the righty Ben Jones, and he swings at the first pitch. It's shallow right field. Communication in the infield, and it's called off by Casey Vaughn, the second baseman. That's out number 2.
That was good communication there from the right side of the field for the Blazers.
We saw that earlier as well in the Mercer series, the doubleheader. I shouldn't say series. A lot of fly balls out in that shallow right field area, and between Vaughn, Broderick, and Mason Woolwine. Nice communication. So quickly 2 gone here in the top half of the second. And Jack Mathis, the first baseman, he swings at the first pitch, but it's fouled down the third base side. Almost a 4-pitch inning. Try for 5.
Almost.
We appreciate you tuning in wherever you are out there in the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel. I'm Rocco Pellegrino, joined alongside Julia Henry here tonight for the ECCBL interdivision matchup. Ben Jones holds at the hip pin, fires an 0-1. The off speed, that one misses. 2 gone here in the top half of the second. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Mathis, the first baseman. That one misses low and away. 2-1 count now to Mathis, who's actually playing second base. Forgot to update the spreadsheet. We're still getting there. That one misses upstairs. Now 3-1 to Mathis. Ben Jones working with 2 outs, but he's in a 3-1 count, down in the count. This one's skied in the air out to left field. Ranging back is Sig. He's got plenty of room, and he's under it to make the catch. That's out number 3. An efficient inning for Ben Jones. It stays 1-0. We move into the bottom half of the second as the Blazers try to respond. Mike Pasco will lead things off for the Blazers as they trail 1-0 early on here. They had 2 runners aboard in the bottom half of the first inning. Unfortunately, a fly ball from Dylan Broderick ended in a double play at second.
An unfortunate end to the first for the Blazers, but I like the aggression on the base paths early on. I mean, and I feel like that's something we didn't really see in that doubleheader. The aggression, the spark wasn't really there as much in those blowout games, kind of. So it was nice to see that early on in the first. Unfortunate, but
I'm glad you brought that up, too, because yesterday against Southside, 6 stolen bases in that game for the Blazers. This is a hard hit. Line drive over to third. Throw across the diamond is in time. Nice play by O'Brien for out number 1.
Fielder number 31, Mason Woolman.
But the aggressiveness was there on the base paths. Talk about that a lot, especially at this level where we do have a lot of hard-throwing catchers. However, there's a lot of opportunities to try to run in these games. So Wonder retired here in the bottom half of the second inning as Pasco's retired, and it'll bring up Mason Woolwine, the right fielder. He takes that first one high and inside, and it's 1-0. Woolwine was 2 for 4 with a walk against Scranton on Tuesday in that 3-1 victory. This pitch here, he grounds this one opposite field. It takes a high hop. The first baseman, Milan, fields it and flips over to Mamoli, the pitcher, for out number 2.
Now batting center fielder number 14, Grayson Kovac.
And I don't really think he was anticipating to make contact with that one there, as I'm pretty sure it hit the tip of his bat there.
That's why the spin on that ball came off a little funky. Took a weird hop over at first. That infield grass is playing a little bit differently compared to other fields. The Blazers trying to get used to that as well. Home field advantage hasn't really clicked in yet, you know. Kovac flies that one back out of play. It's 0-1. 2 gone here in the bottom half of the second. Kovac in this young 2024 campaign, he's 2 for 15 overall. He takes that one high and inside, and it's 1-1. Kovac playing Division I ball at the College of Lafayette, going into his sophomore year next year. He did not play in his freshman year, but he is a four-year high school starter at Downingtown West, and now getting some reps here in at the ECCBL level. That one misses outside. It's 2-1. Mamoli has started 2 games. He's on the hill here for his third. Yet to record a win or a loss. He's only pitched 3 innings in both of his outings. This one here, he renders a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 with 2 gone here in the bottom half of the second. The deuces are wild, I love saying. Shout out Thomas English. Stole that from him. Mamoli even in the count, and he deals upstairs. Full count coming. Kovac yet to work a walk this season. An opportunity here in a 3-2 count with 2 gone in the second. He digs in, and Mamoli fires the payoff pitch. This is an opposite field ground ball once again. Shallow in the infield. Mathis charges and makes a nice play for out number 3. So once again, an efficient inning for Mamoli. He goes 1, 2, 3 and gets out of it. We head into the top of the third. It's still 1-0, the Miners lead. Evan Melberger, the top of the lineup for Scranton. He'll lead things off. He's center fielder from Wilkes University, a junior. Next season, he's batting 174 this year. He's 0 for 1 thus far. He digs in now in the left-handed batter's box and looks at that one miss outside. It's 1-0.
He flied out to center field in his first at bat, so he's obviously looking for making contact again and getting a hit at this time around.
That one misses low and inside. It's quickly 2-0 from Ben Jones, who's still working on the hill for the Blazers. Through his first 2 innings of work, only 3 hits allowed, 1 run, and a strikeout. Down 2-0, and kicks and fires. That one nabs the outer half of the zone. It's 2-1. Melberger 1 for 4 on Tuesday against Quakertown. He takes that one upstairs. It's now 3-1 to him. Melberger's second in the team in walks, showing the plate discipline here. He's worked a 3-1 count as the leadoff hitter in the inning. He takes that one upstairs, and that's his 5th walk of the year. And a leadoff hitter aboard.
Now batting for the Miners, right fielder number 23, Luke Kovac.
So Luke Kovac steps in now, the 2-hole hitter in this inning, and overall in this Miners lineup for today's game.
And not knowing much about Melberger, but that's sad about walks. That's probably what makes him a good choice for that leadoff batter, because your leadoff batter, that's the man you want to be on base the most. And getting walks or hits, any way to do it, is what they want.
He's also 3 for 4 stealing bags this season, as Ben Jones threw back over to first, and he slid in safely. First pitch to Kovac missed, and it's now 1-0, and Schollenberger will quickly meet on the mound with his pitcher, Ben Jones. Kopak playing at the Division II level, starting in right field tonight at East Stroudsburg University. It's also where he normally plays right field. It's Melberger on first, still nobody out here in the top half of the third. The Miners lead 1-0. Pitch misses. So Jones down to the count once again, now 2-0. He holds at the hip with Melberger taking a lead at first. He stays at first and a swing and a miss from Kopak. It's 2-1.
That's a good 2-0 pitch from Jones.
Kopak getting aggressive there despite the count. Now it moves to 2-1, and firing is Jones. It's flown back out of play. It's 2-2. Jones now up to 35 pitches. He's been efficient in most of his outings besides the one on Saturday against Mercer. This one's nubbed right back up the middle. Ryman's over to make it. He tries to throw back to second, and he makes the play in time. A close one, but they get the lead runner for out number 1.
And that's a close one that almost took Casey Vaughn off the bag there. But that was just, Casey Vaughn was able to lean and reach there, and they were able to get that lead runner out at second.
Crucial play there as they get it out and no runner into scoring position. So Kopak now on first, and it's Jake Milan, the senior from FAU, coming up to the plate in the 3-hole, now in the left-handed batter's box. Righty-lefty matchup, first pitch swing, and he flies it back out of play. The Miners, kind of a weird statistical season so far. In their last 3 wins, all of them 4-run outputs. It was 4-1, 4-1, and 4-2. They've been consistent. Runner from first, Kopak's going, throw down from Schollenberger's offline. It's backed up by Vaughn as it sprays into shallow center field, but that won't matter. But Kopak into scoring position with 1 retired. Now an 0-2 count, though, to Milan. Jones holding at the hip. He's ahead of the count at 0-2. 1 retired, a runner at second. That's Kopak. He looks back to him, kicks and steps off, and he's able to force Kopak back to second. Kopak now 4 for 5, stealing bags this year after swiping second. Jones looking him back, and now he kicks, fires, and misses outside. It's 1-2. So far, Jones 38 pitches, 25 of them strikes. Still ahead of the count at 1-2 as Kopak takes a lead at second to the plate, and it's flown into the protective netting. Staying alive in the count is Jake Milan. Milan struggling a little bit so far in this young season, hitting 167 overall. He was 0 for 4 on Tuesday against Quakertown. Down in the count 1-2. He takes that one outside. It's 2-2.
He struck out during his first at bat. So again, kind of that mindset of wanting to put the bat on the ball in this one or walk or do anything but strike out.
Kopak still stands on second. 1 retired here in the top half of the third. Ben Jones looks him back and now delivers to the plate. It misses upstairs and a payoff pitch on the way to Milan. Milan showing the plate discipline. Hit 255 this year at FAU. And a 3-2 pitch on the way from Jones. This one swung out to right field. It's hit well. Ranging back to the track is Woolwine. He looks up, he jumps, and he can't make the catch. It falls to the ground. Kopak will get the wave. He will come to the plate. The relay throw is in time. Beautiful from Woolwine and Casey Vaughn. They nab the runner, and they keep it at 1-0.
Beautiful play from Woolwine, and not beautiful play. I want to give him his credit, but I don't know if you noticed, but Kopak running around third. I mean, he was almost in the on deck circle.
he took a big lead, or a big
a very wide turnaround third, and I think it was a pretty bang play, kind of. And I think if he just ran straight on, he could have been safe there.
Yeah, he took a very wide turn around.
Very wide. So.
And a nice effort from Woolwine to even keep that in the yard. It looks like that could have maybe been gone if that did not hit his glove. Instead, he keeps it in. It falls to the warning track, gets the throw in quickly, and they get the runner. So Kopak is thrown out. Milan now stands on second with a double, but he does not get the RBI. So it's J.P. Kuzik now the catcher at the dish, the 4-hole and cleanup hitter. He's down to the count 0-1. Still a runner in scoring position here for the Miners. 2 outs. This one's lined out to left field. That'll drop in for a hit. Sig fields it on one hop. Milan gets the wave. The throw comes into Everett. He goes home, and it's not in time. An RBI base hit for J.P. Kuzik. He makes it 2-0. The Miners lead.
Now batting for the Miners, designated hitter number 7, Patrick Mooney.
And that was good base running there, too, for Milan. But also aggressive base running from the Miners. I mean, that ball was hit pretty middle of left field and to send a guy from second all the way home. That's aggressive early on, especially in the third inning.
First pitch to Patrick Munley is flown out of play. And it's 0-1. Still 2 outs in the inning in the top half of the third. The Miners increase their lead to 2-0. A nice play from Mason Woolwine out in right field to keep it at 2-0. It could be 3. That pitch missed low. It's now 1-1. Munley, an incoming freshman at Westchester University. Recorded his first hit of the 2024 summer season in his last at-bat, but he swings and whiffs at that one. It's now 1-2. J.P. Kuzik takes his lead at first, the catcher who came up with the RBI base hit to make it a 2-0 game. He stays on first as this one's ripped out to right center. That's going to drop in for a hit. 2-out magic continues as Kuzik moves into second. Munley's aboard.
Left fielder number 30, Josh Botker.
So Munley now 2 for 2 on the afternoon. His only 2 hits of the season comes against Ben Jones, and it's now Josh Botker, the left fielder from Lycoming. I'll dig in now with 2 gone. It's the Miners now 6 hits recorded against Ben Jones. First pitch from Jones misses low to Botker. It's 1-0.
And just as you say, 6 hits from Jones. It looks like the Blazers started with someone in the bullpen there.
Still don't have the eyesight to tell you who it is, unfortunately. Julia is trying
It's
her best.
number
We'll get it to you.
44, but fortunately don't have the roster member.
That pitch missed inside. It's now 2-0 to Josh Botker.
Malachi Duca
There we go.
from Lebanon Valley College.
Good
Looks
eyes.
like is warming up in the bullpen.
Good eyes. 2-0 with 2 outs. This is a high chopper. Charging in is Everett, the third baseman. He flips across, and it brings the first baseman, Broderick, off the bag, and Botker is safe.
Now batting third baseman, number 5, Casey O'Brien.
It could have ended the inning. Unfortunately, the throw just a little bit offline, and the bases are now jammed with 2 outs here in the top half of the third. The Miners with a huge opportunity and trying to drive in these runs will be the third baseman, Casey O'Brien.
And if you're Jones here, you're really trying to get out of this inning without any more damage.
This one's flown out to right. It's hooking foul. Just a tad late on that offering. It's now 0-1 to O'Brien. O'Brien is hitless so far in the season. The announcer's jinx has been coming through so far in this game, and I'm hoping I'm not doing it again. But he is 0 for 21 now in this season. 0-1 pitch. This one's flown in the air out to shallow right center. Coming in is Woolwine. He's under it. He's calling everybody off, and he makes the catch for out number 3. The Miners played another runner. It could have been an extra 2, but a nice play from Mason Woolwine and right to throw out the runner from second. So we'll move into the bottom half of the third. The Miners lead 2-0. So the shortstop for the Blazers, Carter Ryben, will lead things off in the bottom half of the third. The Mammoths, or forgive me, the Miners. The Mammoths were the doubleheader on Saturday. They're still trying to work out the M's here. The Miners expanded the lead to 2-0 in the top half of the third. It was an eventful top half of the third, to say the least.
It was, but ooh.
Looks like that plunked Ryben, and it did. He'll toss the bat, and he'll take his base the hard way. Leadoff hit by pitch.
And maybe you talked about announcer's jinx. Maybe kind of foreshadowed an eventful bottom of the third.
Yeah, sure.
For the Blazers.
The top of the third for the Miners went an Ethan Melberger walk, a Kopech ground into a fielder's choice. Then Milan doubled on a fly ball out to right field. Woolwine kept it in the yard and then was able to throw out Kopech, who advanced home. J.P. Kuzik singled on a line drive. That scored a run. That made it 2-0. And then an error and a fly out to end the inning. So leadoff hitter aboard for the Blazers. That's kind of plagued them so far this season in terms of not being able to get one. So a nice start here. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Logan Sigg, the left fielder in the 9-hole. Sigg takes that one. It misses again. It's now 2-0. Still Mamoli on the bump. He's worked his way up to 29 pitches in the afternoon. The righty misses again, and it's now 3-0 to Sigg. Sigg has pinch ran and pinch hit in the last 2 games. Has not gotten the start since the doubleheader on Saturday, but he gets the nod here. And he's ahead in the count, 3-0. He does not get the green light. He takes it. It's now 3-1. Sigg is 1 for 9 this year. Chance here with an RBI as Ryben, the runner from first, will go, but the pitch missed either way. And Sigg works another walk. The runner moves over to second. It's first and second now for the top of the lineup.
Now batting for the Blazers, second baseman number 4, Casey Vaughn.
Nice job there by Logan Sigg as he works a 5-pitch walk, a gentleman's walk, we'll call it. His third of the season. And the top of the order in Casey Vaughn, the second baseman, will come to the dish. Vaughn, the lefty, will face the righty Mamoli. Opportune matchup here for the Blazers as Ryben stands on second and Sigg is at first.
And 2 runners on with no outs in the top of the lineup off is usually always a good sign.
First pitch is taken. It just finds the outer half of the plate. Looks like Casey Vaughn was not too thrilled with that as he looked up to the sky. I was going to say clouds, but not a lot of clouds in the sky tonight. Beautiful day for baseball as the 0-1 pitch is flown out towards foul territory down the third base side. It looks like O'Brien has room and he'll make the catch. Ball almost flew back the left side on him. Well, that's 1 out now in the bottom half of the third as O'Brien was able to track it through the lights and the sun. Well, the sun's setting. Not a lot of wind either.
No, it's a perfect night for baseball. Yeah. 78 degrees, the sun setting, blue sky, no clouds. The lights are just turning on. I mean, this is what summer baseball is all about right here.
So Vaughn flies out and Ty Everett, the third baseman, steps in. He swings and misses at the first offering. It's 0-1. Everett 1 for 1 so far. It found him his 5th hit of the season. He's now 5 for 20 overall. Chance here at an RBI with Ryben on second. He takes that one and it finds the inner half of the plate. It's now 0-2. Everett digs back in, 0-2 pitch, and Mamoli will step off. The dimensions here at Memorial Park, the same as they have always been. 325 to left field, 390 to center, and 325 to right. Ryben dancing on second. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and Everett is down on strikes.
And with the 4th batter of the inning, it kind of looked like Mamoli was settling into a rhythm. He's pitched well so far in this game, but with Ryben and Sigg struggled a little bit.
So Schollenberger will come to the plate now with runners on first and second and 2 gone in the third. Schollenberger worked a walk in his first appearance. That was his 4th of the year. Mamoli holds at the hip and he fires a fastball low. It's 1-0. moly, now up to 37 pitches. He holds up towards the lettering as Ryben from second. He will go. Kuchik's throw down the third. It is in time. Ryben is thrown out at third, and the Blazers leave two stranded once again. So we move to the fourth inning, and the Miners still lead 2-0. I'll step aside from the play-by-play duties for 3 innings and turn it over to Julia Henry. So stay with us here on the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel as they try to fight back from a 2-0 hole.
Zach Pazuski leads off for the Miners, 8-hole hitter to begin the top of the fourth inning. The Miners currently hold a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, the Blazers bats just yet to wake up. Well, I mean, they've had runners on, just opportune hits have not come, and outs on the base paths.
With the first pitch, it's hit back to Ben Jones, who bats it with his glove, fires it over to first, but Pazuski will be safe there. That's just a tough play to make.
We've seen a lot of hard hit balls
Second baseman, number 6,
right back.
Jack Mathis.
A lot of hard hit ground balls right back to the pitcher in the last 2 games at home, where all you can really do is stop it with your glove, and it's popped out of the glove, unfortunately, a few times. It happened, I believe, to Jackson Snyder, or possibly it might have been Ben Jones as well in the doubleheader, but keeps it in the infield at least. Gives himself a chance.
Mm-hmm. Jack Mathis steps up to the plate here, the runner aboard.
Outfield shifted a little bit to the left from our vantage point.
Jones fires the second pitch of the at-bat in as Pazuski steals second, and he's out there. Perfect throw down to second there from Schollenberger.
It's kind of a not-so-emphatic call from the first baser moved over to second base umpire as he was kind of just pumped the fist a little bit very lightly, and I was expecting a more louder and emphatic call.
And that's something we saw with the umps in Saturday's doubleheader. The home plate ump, very emphatic, and the first base ump,
Not so much.
yes. Mathis takes that pitch of the bat in for a strike now.
We need a mic on the home plate ump. This guy's electric. Love this guy.
Ideas for the future.
Yeah.
That one's fouled off there, evening the count at 2-2.
I like the aggressiveness on the base paths tonight from both teams, but it's very rare, I feel like, where you see A lot of guys getting caught stealing this game, 2 so far in the first 3 innings.
And that's a hard ground ball hit between third and short that'll roll into left field. So Mathis is safe at first with a single.
Now batting for the Miners, center fielder number 8, Evan Melberger.
So Mathis now 1 for 2. Does his job well. Turns the lineup right back over to the leadoff hitter, who has been struggling as of late, but there's a reason he's hitting in the leadoff spot. He's got speed and he gets on base.
Definitely.
Jones now up to 60 pitches. He's getting towards where you're starting to think about going to the bullpen. We saw some movement.
And taking off there is Mathis, and he is safe. So the aggression on the base path really seems to be continuing.
Yeah, as soon as I started talking about how it looks like their umps are talking or communicating about something, but as soon as I started talking about how rare it is to see guys getting thrown out this much in summer ball, it went right back the other way. So the jinx is still alive and well tonight for me. Good to see.
Malberger takes that one in for a ball.
Kopak, he's got 2 stolen bags. Mathis gets his first. And Ty Everett has 1 tonight for the Blazers.
And that pitch is in for the first strike of the at-bat. The 3-0 count moving into 3-1.
Needed a strike there. I wasn't expecting Melberger to get too aggressive.
That pitch is in for strike 2. So with a full count now, Jones has battled back from the 3-0 count that he started with Melberger as the payoff pitch comes. Jones winds up, fires, and that one's in for strike 3. Little outside.
Sorry, I couldn't hold the laugh back.
Hey, we'll take it.
So we talked a lot about consistently during the Quakertown High School playoff run, and I will say one thing about this home plate umpire. He has been consistent giving the outside of the zone, I'm going to call it, to the left-handed hitters. And on that pitch there, it looked like it was outside to the lefty, and he gave the call to Ben Jones. So that's consistent. Was it in the zone? Well, that's up for you to decide, but it's been consistent.
And Cooper hits that one over to second base, fired across to first. And that ends the inning there for the Miners. Jackson Schollenberger steps into the box for the Blazers to start off the bottom of the 4th. The Blazers are still looking to play their first run of the game here.
Same as the Philadelphia Phillies. They trail 4-0 in Boston. Suboptimal, if you're a Phillies fan for that matter. Our wonderful GM, Chris Wright, at the Blazers is not a Phillies fan. Giants fan. San Francisco. I didn't get the story, but I'm kind of curious.
Maybe keeping with the orange and black color
Yeah.
scheme.
I guess that's what it is.
That's my guess. We'll have to find out later for you. But 2 pitches into that bat, the count's 1-1.
It's getting a little hot up here, I'm not going to lie. Wanted to open the door. There's no window, it's just open, so not much we could do there.
Schellenberger fouls that one back. Out of play. Hits the top of the pavilion there.
Kuzik, he was urgent. He at first, or pardon me, not at first, and then started hustling towards the backstop.
And there's some fans blowing. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
what
that's
doing,
actually kind of my responsibility, but I'm yet to figure out how the lights and the fans work here at the new grandstands at Memorial Park. I'm not sure I'll ever figure it out. But they're to my right, all of the switches.
Schellenberger sends that one deep to left field. And that one bounces off the wall there. So the left fielder for the Miners in Josh Bacher is able to fire that one in. And Schellenberger has a double. So back-to-back innings for the Blazers where the leadoff batter is on board. So I take this as a positive sign.
Going back to the announcers, Jinx, I talked about it a lot through the first 3 innings, how the leadoff hitter wasn't getting aboard, and look what just happened. So I'm going to continue to try to bring up negative Blazers statistics to change the tide.
And the first pitch there to Dylan Broderick is in the dirt.
Broderick had that fly ball out to right that looked like it was going to drop in, and it looked like that to Ty Everett as he was unfortunately doubled up at second to end the top half or bottom half of the first inning, pardon me.
That one's in there for ball 2. And not entirely sure on who's warming up as there's 3 Miners in the bullpen.
And they're throwing a football, I believe.
Yes, not really.
So
is this summer baseball for you?
I guess, yes.
That one's in, Broderick hits it over to shortstop. He's out at first there, but he advances Schellenberger to third. So, successful at bat.
And that's the importance of the leadoff hitter getting on, because now you have a guy at third with 1 out and Schellenberger, and an opportunity here if you just make contact. And Mike Pasco coming to the plate, if he's able to make contact, likely getting on the board. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but high percentage.
Mm-hmm. And Pasco here definitely looking for a right field approach with the runner at third. As with that first, doesn't go right field there. And he, first at bat, ground out from third base, and in his second at bat, another ground out from third base. So
I mean, you can't.
consistent.
Yeah. You can't really complain, though. It was hard hit. It just unfortunately went right to O'Brien at third, and he was just sitting on it. And Schellenberger can't really go to home there, and he wasn't running on contact, which actually ended up helping him. Either that or he realized it was coming right at him.
That one, Schellenberger going on that one might have been really pushing the aggressive base running card.
Yeah.
Well. But now Mason Woolwine's up to bat.
And that's credit to the Miners for not playing the infield too far in. If you have O'Brien in the infield grass, he's probably not going to have a great reaction time to make that play. Still an opportunity here. Just need a base knock instead of just a fly ball out into the outfield.
Yes. Especially with 2 outs now. Woolwine takes that one in for the first strike of that bat. Counts 2-1.
Schellenberger's double. That was his 5th extra base hit of the year. He's leading the team in that category by 3 extra base hits. The next highest is 2.
And that pitch is inside for ball 3. So 3-1 count, 2 outs for Woolwine, who's looking to move Schellenberger into score from third base.
And a walk here from Amoli, not the end of the world. That base is open, so we'll see how aggressive he gets. He went off speed right into the zone, so aggressive.
Definitely aggressive, especially as you're entering. Next, Grayson Kovac would be your 7-hole batter, so you're even entering the bottom part of the lineup. And we've just seen that outside. I mean, there was a lot of movement on that pitch. Maybe it kind of curved back in there for a strike, but strike 3 looking there for Mason Woolwine, stranding Schollenberger at third as we head into the 5th.
And normally in that situation, I would say it's not the end of the world, or I'm sorry, it would be the end of the world if you just took a pitch in 3-2 and a runner on third and 2 outs, but that was a little outside, so it's not the end of the world. It just unfortunately didn't go his way. So with that, we'll head to the 5th.
Heading into the 5th inning, the Miners still lead 2-0 after the Blazers stranded a runner on third in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, they've had runners on, just unfortunately. It's the same story as game 1 of that doubleheader on Saturday, just the opportune hits not coming yet. Still plenty of time to change that, though.
And that pitch is high in the air there from Milan into left field there for the first out. And Jones is still on the mound here.
Yeah, 7 hits allowed thus far, only 2 runs, though, 2 strikeouts and a walk issued. His next pitch will be his 70th. It's been efficient. 45 of those 70 are strikes or balls in play.
So J.P. Kuzik steps into the box here. First pitch is in for a ball.
Kuzik 2 for 2. He's hitting 158 coming into this game. He's boosting that average a little bit.
And the second pitch there's in for ball 2.
And same with the outer half of the zone being a little bit extended from this home plate up. It looks like he's not giving too much upstairs. That's been a pretty rigid zone below the belt.
No, his zone is definitely way more wide as that one ricochets past Jones over to second base. And Kuzik is out there as the throws in time there from Vaughn DeBroderick.
Next play arranging to his right. Keep talking about the quick and efficient innings. Not going to say anything, but there's 2 outs quickly, and I'll leave it at that.
Patrick Moeller steps up to the plate here. And that's in for a strike there. And that's, that's what we've seen all game. We talk about consistency. The up and down, definitely a small zone, but left to right, pretty large zone. As this one's popped up in the air there to Vaughn. Out for number 3. So 3 up, 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 5th.
7 pitch inning.
Wait, is one? Grayson Kovac steps into the bat for his second at bat.
Center fielder number 14, Grayson Kovac.
And Jake Mamoli's still on the mound here for the Miners in the fifth. That pitch is inside there. 2 balls so far in this at bat.
Just some scores around the ECCBL. South Jersey has defeated Mercer 2-0. South Side has defeated Pocono 2-0. Trenton Capitals are trailing 11-6 to the Trenton Generals, and here it's 2-0. Blazers trail.
That pitch is in for ball 3. And this is what we saw in the 4th inning, was a little bit of struggle from Mamoli to kind of start off the inning, and then as he got to the 3rd or 4th batter of the inning, he kind of locked in with his own more. Strike 1 there to Kovac.
Kovac, he worked the full count in his first plate appearance. It's now 3-1. Struck out, though, unfortunately.
One's a swing and a miss there for strike 2. So once again, a full count worked by Kovac. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kovac is out. Out 1 of the inning.
Shortstop number 5, Carter Ryman.
So Carter Ryben, the 8-hole batter, looks to have his second at bat of the game. Or
Now batting for the Blazers, number 6, Luke Kikuchi.
So pinch hitter here. Switching things up for the Blazers here in the 5th as they look to spark the offense a little bit. So Pocono, as they lost today, they're still winless at home. The Blazers are the only other team in the ECCBL that are winless at home, so a chance to strand Pocono in that category.
and that pitch almost brushes against him there for ball 1.
Sounds wrong though, doesn't it? Pocono? Like I feel like it should be the Poconos or something.
Mm-hmm.
Team name is the Pocono Timber Rattlers though. So it is.
I like Timber Rattlers.
Yeah.
Bothers me that Southside doesn't have anything after that. That's just it. As that pitch is in for ball 2 there. Very emphatic.
I think they're the Railers.
Or it's strike 2.
Southside, the Railers.
No.
On Instagram it says Southside Railers, but
I
their
don't think
Game Changer does not say Southside Railers. So I don't really know.
My understanding is they were the Allentown Railers, and then switching to the ECCBL, they rebranded to Southside, but took Railers away.
Okay, so they need to update the Instagram is what you're telling me.
This is I asked Chris, and this is
All right.
This is what I got.
The Instagram
so
is still Southside_Railers. Let me just, I just want to make sure. So
at least
all
they
right.
updated.
Yeah, they got Game
Says
Changer
it, yeah.
updated. That's what matters. Good for them. Full count. My Jeff Van Gundy on.
Fouls that one off to stay alive.
So it's Kachi in for Ryben. That's short. Kachi normally plays second, so I mean, I guess he probably does have the versatility to then play shortstop if that's the route that Mike Fitzgerald, the manager for the Blazers, decides to go.
Mamoli fires, and that one is really hit off the tip there. But I mean, if you're
Staying alive, that's what you got to do.
and if you're the Blazers at minus at this point, you know this has a very wide outside strike zone. So just getting that tip of the bat, got to do anything to stay alive. That one's fouled down the third baseline there.
It's a good at-bat coming in fresh. Pinch hitting from Luke Kachi's really put together a nice piece of hitting here at the dish.
It's
Try
a
to see
very
if it results
strong
in something.
at-bat. A lot of pitches, too.
9th pitch coming here.
And that one's in for ball 4 there as it bounces in the dirt. So Kachi will go to first. Logan Sig comes to the dish.
68, Logan Sig.
It's the second walk of the season now for Luke Kochi in a full count pitch. He takes the payoff after protecting multiple times, fouling off 3 straight pitches.
And it looks like that walk is the end of the night for Jake Mamoli, and the Miners call to the bullpen. And we'll tell you who's coming in, I think.
We'll figure it out during the break. Stay with us.
So Nate Dudek comes into the game here on the mound for relief for the Miners.
Final line from Mamoli, a solid outing.
Ooh. And once again, we see aggression on the base path as Kachi steals second on that first pitch and out. And
Didn't he slide either?
no.
I mean, the throw
and
was
I
beating him
think,
by a mile, so maybe that's why. But
I mean, we watched Dudek warm up a little, but I think it's risky. A relief pitcher comes in and you steal on the first pitch.
yeah, it is indeed. It's been a weird kind of game. The second time they've been caught stealing today. It's the 4th overall. They're now 16 for 20 stealing bags. Are the Blazers?
That's in for strike 2. So the count to Sig here is 1-2.
But Dudek plays at the Division I level at FDU. He's hitting 362 in his last season. He's on the bump here.
Ooh, and fires that one in and gets Sig to swing and miss there. So strike 3 and out 3 of the 5th inning as we head into the 6th. We start the 6th inning. Josh Bacher steps into the box, the first to face Malachi Duca, who came in relief for the Blazers on the mound.
Yeah, and this is his first outing of the season. We'll see how it goes. We were just talking to the wonderful GM, Chris Ray. He was telling us that this guy's got some velocity, so we'll keep an eye on it. Getting the feel for it.
Yes. And not only first appearance of the season, first appearance since a little bit of an injury, a little bit of a, I think he said forearm strain.
Yeah.
So.
You could see the velocity there. It did miss a little bit, but it's all right. He'll find it.
Mm-hmm. And that second pitch is in. High 2 for ball 2.
Final line for Ben Jones. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned. 1 walk and 2 Ks. Solid outing.
So far, 3-0 count for Malachi Duca.
So we've seen the bullpen for the Blazers be very good, and we've unfortunately also seen it be very bad. It's really not stayed in the middle.
Yes. And walk to lead off. But, first outing of the season, first time since injury. Your first batter, I don't think you're having the greatest expectations, but it looks like there's already going to be a mound meeting.
Yeah, and I like this meeting from Fitzgerald. It depends if he's taking him out or not, which I think he, after seeing the first pitch hit the backstop and then 3 consecutive balls after that, it's kind of a sticky situation. You want to at least give him time to catch his breath and compose his emotions. It looks like that's what he's doing.
And the Blazers, it looks like there's movement in the bullpen too, but an actual movement, not throwing a football.
Yes.
Movement.
Indeed.
But
I like the throwing the football strategy. Keep it loose, even if
know.
you're not ordered to throw. Why not?
maybe it does something for your wrists.
Yeah, it keeps the elbow moving. It's a little bit of a different throwing motion, I suppose.
I don't know.
The UCL still moving.
That one's in for a ball. And you can really hear the pop against Schellenberger's glove. You can hear that velocity, and you can see how quickly it moves, but the spot just hasn't been right yet.
Just got to find the zone. It'll come. There it is.
And there it is. Strike 1 from Duca there. So the count's 1-1 to Casey O'Brien.
Needed that strike there. It was 5 consecutive balls. That's huge.
Conferred with the field ump there, saying O'Brien didn't go. So second ball at this at-bat, 2-1 count. And Duca fires that one in for strike 2.
It's a great pitch there. Just found the bottom half of the zone.
And that one is fired back to Duca. And that one... Okay.
I'd lose my words too.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a no words play there. So O'Brien fires it back to Duca there. Duca kind of lets it go between his, as pitchers, I'm a believer, and unless you're kind of like Ranger Suarez, the pitcher should let the ball go to the middle infield. So he lets the ball go to Casey Vaughn there at second, but he's kind of covering second because of the runner who was already at first, and then the ball kind of goes between his leg 3 feet into the outfield. And then you have Bacher not realizing this and halfway between second and third, but...
Yeah, so he definitely could have made it the third.
Yes.
But that should be Vaughn's ball. It was his ball, unfortunately, just went under the glove. It's a tailor-made double play.
And I think...
Then, I guess, was too urgent trying to get the second and find out where he was instead of making sure the ball was in the glove.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that's an error there.
Yeah, that's going to be true.
Yes.
Was hard hit.
So, in the midst of all the recap, Zach Pazuski has stepped up to bat, and the count is 1-1 to him with runners on first and second and no outs for the Miners. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Yeah, and the errors, they've been a problem as well for the Blazers here at Memorial Park. We saw 3 in both games in the doubleheader, and now 3 here tonight so far, only through 5 innings. It's tough.
And it is tough because it's your home field. This is supposed to be the grass, the dirt, the best. So just unfortunate there. But Pazuski swings at strike 3 there. So
Now batting for the
Duca
Miners,
records his first strikeout
Jack
and his first out of the inning.
It's big for Duga. It's hard, especially after the way the first batter went. And then he leaves or is able to strand a base runner there.
Duca fires that one in on the outside corner to Jack Mathis for ball 1.
Just felt like I had a lot of power there, Julia. Picked the 50-50 raffle ticket. You know, that's new.
It is.
Sorry, I went mute there for a second. I had to lock in for that decision. Not that I could see him, but either way.
Yeah, and to anyone watching at home, I mean, what better inspiration to come out to a game at Memorial Park than the chance to win a 50-50 raffle, handpicked maybe by Rocco,
Yes.
your own Quakertown Blazers broadcaster.
Who would have thought I'd be doing that? Not me.
And so far to Mathis, 3 balls from Duca, so
Suboptimal, but
not the greatest.
I mean, walk's not good, but third is open. It's not scoring a run in the event he does.
No, but with the 9-hole batter, you're looking for an out. But 4-pitch walk to Mathis
center fielder
sends,
Evan
turns the Miners lineup over. Yes, turns the lineup over to Evan Melberger with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Yeah, it's the same story as the bullpen, unfortunately, in Game 2 and in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Just not going great right now for Duca, pardon me.
No. That one's in for a high ball.
Just got to find the zone here. It goes without saying. This is the most obvious statement, but a walk, it scores a run. You can't have that. Got to force him to put something in play.
And that one's high and outside for ball 2.
And it's 7, 8, 9, just getting it done. Well, 6, 7, and 9 getting it done.
And that one almost inside and hitting him. So 3 straight ball. 3rd ball of that bat, 7th straight ball from Duca here. That one's in for ball 4. So that sends Bacher home from 3rd. Miners take a 3-0 lead. And it looks like manager Mike Fitzgerald will step out to the mound. And that may be a call to the bullpen. It looks like trying to double check and see if
I'm gonna go
their
with
pitchers
yes.
need more time.
8 straight pitches, all balls. It's probably going to be something to the pen. We'll see. We'll step aside. We'll let you know if there is a new pitcher, and if so, who it is. So stay with us here on the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel. you're on.
So, top of the 7th. Yes. No. What inning are we in? The 6th?
Top of the 6th.
Oh, the 6th. Know that. And Caden DiCiotto takes the mound in relief for Malachi Duca, who ended his stint on the mound with 8 straight balls. So they made a quick call to the bullpen.
And now with the bases juiced, 1-1 count, so that's a better start for DiCiotto. His last outing was in the doubleheader on Saturday. He only pitched 1 inning and faced 6 batters, 1 run allowed, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He needs to be perfect here, and he's thrown into a high leverage situation with 1 gone.
That one's slow and off speed and outside pitch there for ball 2. 2-1 count to Luke Cooper. Ball 3 here. Again, not ideal with the bases loaded, but it's always it's very difficult to come in from the bullpen with the bases loaded. Always unfortunate for the relief pitcher there. So that one's in for ball 4. So that walks in O'Brien from third to extend the Miners' lead to 4-0. Bases stay loaded, 1 out, top of the 6th, as the 3-hole batter, Jake Millen, steps to the plate.
Yeah, there's the control issues continuing to plague the bullpen a little bit, unfortunately. Q-Town's probably best reliever in Cody Barbario. He went on Tuesday against Scranton. He threw 23 pitches in 2 innings. So I guess maybe he's not able to go, or they just didn't want to use him this early in this situation in the 6th inning. But unfortunately, if it gets worse, then there's really going to be no other spot to use him.
Mm-hmm. And DiCiotto misses outside there again. And that pitch in for ball 2 there to Millen in the same place as ball 1.
Gotta get something in the zone. There it is.
And there it is. So that curse is still...
Yeah, well,
Kinda
we need a
working.
little bit more in the zone, that's a good start. Just finding it, getting the location down a little bit. With 1 out here, I think you're fine with conceding at least 1 run.
And that ball's roped to left field. Able to make the catch there. The throw's relayed in. And Ty Everett cuts it off there. But it still scores
Mathis.
Mathis from third there to extend the lead to 5-0. But now there's 2 outs, and the runners didn't move over from first and second there. So you have 2 outs and runners at first and second.
Yeah, you take that trade, and it was just a good piece of hitting there from Milan. He's now 1 for 4, but he picks up another RBI. That's just a good piece of hitting there. He puts the ball in play, puts it into the deeper area of left field. Really no chance for Logan Sigg unless he delivered an absolute dot.
As that one's ball outside. Now, giving up another run. But I would kind of agree that I like it because the runners stayed at first and second.
Yeah, you needed to get it out however you could, and you got it through a fly-out RBI. That's all right. Now just limit it to that.
That one's in for a ball. Schollenberger grabs that one quickly.
Seen a lot of great catching behind the plate from Schollenberger, stopping a lot of waywire pitches in this inning. I don't think there's been the one pass ball on the first pitch from Duca that went over his head and sailed into the netting. Really couldn't do much there, but he's done a really, really good job behind the plate, limiting pass balls.
Definitely. As that one's fouled up and over the pavilion here. So 2 balls, 1 strike to J.P. Kuzik.
It's 2 for 3 thus far. Two RBIs as well.
DiCiotto shaking his head, telling Schollenberger what call he likes. As
Hit him.
that one did hit him.
Not great.
Not great.
Hitter number 7, Patrick Munley.
But I think he just slipped it or lost.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
control's just
think
not
that
there.
was a bad pitch. I think that one might have slipped out of his hands because it was just low and curved really weird and I don't know. I don't think any pitcher purposely throws that one. So that one's in for ball one here to Munley. And we're almost gone all the way around the order here in the 6th inning. Munley's the 9th batter of this inning.
It's quickly 2-0 with the bases jammed, and man, you just really got to find the zone. Which is obviously easier said than done. Sometimes it's how it goes for these relief pitchers. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
And he swung on that one, Munley. Very inside pitch, but he went around, and DeCiato will take that for strike one.
And the other thing, too, is when you see relievers with this kind of control, and you're just going to take everything that's close if you're Scranton.
And that one kind of goes to the same spot there. And Munley held off that time. Wasn't going to make that same mistake twice as a batter. So DeCiato gets ready to throw with the 3-1 pitch in. And that one goes to left field, but that'll bounce in there. Siggs is able to grab it, fires it to Everett, doesn't cut it off. It bounces past Schollenberger. DeCiato's running behind the mound there to try and recover that. And that scored 2 runners?
It did.
Okay. Scored 2 runners there, double for Munley, and just not ideal, but with a 3-1 count, DeCiato put the ball in play, and unfortunately it was just one of those outfield hits that the outfielder's just not going to get to.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, a hit's a hit, but that was not the hardest hit ball, just hitting the right spot, just right over the infield dirt in the shallow left field. Not much Logan Sigg can do there.
And that's something we saw in the doubleheader, too, on Saturday. Just Mercer hit the balls to the right places, and that's what the Miners have been able to do.
So DeCiato's day is done, and Duca's final line, he came out of the game first in relief. He recorded 1 out, 4 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, and a strikeout. DeCiato, his final line, 1/3 of an inning, he records 1 out, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, a walk, no strikeouts. So we'll take a quick break. We'll tell you about the next pitcher and stay with us here on the Blazers YouTube channel.
We come back to you, and Cannon Dimmel is on the mound here as Josh Bacher steps into the box for the second time this inning. The Miners started this inning with a 2-0 lead and have advanced it to 7-0. One count here for Bacher.
Zemo, the sophomore at Kutztown, one of the 3 pitchers in this pitching staff from that university.
As that one once again kind of hit in that same spot that we just saw Munley hit it to Siggs there. And that'll plate another 2 runs there for the Miners. So they take a 9-0 lead here in the top of the 6th.
Miners third baseman, number 5, Casey O'Brien.
Yeah, it's just timely hitting, and the bullpen woes just continuing. Not much else there is to it, just good execution from the Miners. They're putting the bat on the ball. They're barreling balls, taking pitches when they need to take pitches. They're not in the zone. It's resulted in an absolute outburst here in the top of the 6th, a 7 spot, and things have busted open.
Definitely. And O'Brien steps in the bat with an early on 0-2 count. And definitely good for the Blazers, or 1-1 count. Good for them to get, consistent strikes here from their bullpen. But now there's just a runner on base versus all those bases loaded situations. And that's a nice catch there by Kachi at shortstop, able to catch that line out for the third out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the sixth. We're back here in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Blazers still looking to plate their first run in the game and avoid potentially a mercy roll in the seventh. If the Miners can score another
10-run
run.
mercy rule. It happened in Game 2 of the doubleheader as a 12-1 defeat.
And the positive sign for the Blazers is we're at the top of the lineup, so Casey Vaughn leads off this inning, hoping to.
So I have a question. This team name of Scranton and all other teams in Scranton, it is always Scranton / Wilkes-Barre. Why?
Wilkes-Barre.
What is it?
Wilkes-Barre.
Well, it's Wilkes-Barre, I thought. But my question is, why is there a slash and a hyphen?
I don't. No, it's Wilkes-Barre is
gotten
a
it.
town.
Well, isn't it? At first, I thought it was Wilkes-Barre. Am I incorrect on that?
We might be wrong.
Okay,
I've
I've always
said
heard
it was
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre,
But either
it might
way,
be Barry.
why the slash?
Oh, I may be wrong.
Slash and a hyphen? Why? Like, for what reason?
I don't know. It does confuse me because you'd think if you were gonna, it's Scranton and Wilkes, however we're saying the next part of that word.
Wilkes-Barre. We're going with Wilkes-Barre.
Two separate towns, but it confuses me why it's just Scranton. Why not SWB Miners?
Yeah, well, it's like,
Right?
why the slash? Like I could choose? Like, they defer to me? Is that what that means? I've just never understood that. I don't know.
No, that's a good point.
I've always seen it, and I've never known.
So Vaughn,
He was down on strikes.
yeah, I'm like,
Now Ty Everett.
I kind of
Talk
lost
through the
that
AB.
one.
I'll take the blame.
I
Sorry.
knew he was out. I wasn't sure. I didn't think he.
9-run
Make
game. You got to
contact there,
fill something with something.
Yes.
That's what I filled it with.
No, I like it. As Everett pops that one way high to that little shallow right field area. And the second baseman, Mathis, is able to secure that one for out 2. So Jackson Schollenberger steps up to plate here and still looking for a base runner in this inning from the Blazers.
I will say one good thing about the top half of that 6th inning for the Blazers is that Jackson Schollenberger probably could make an entire highlight reel from that inning of just stopping way wire pitches. Like he had probably one of the most impressive displays of catching I think I've ever seen in that inning. I mean, I know there at one point it was 8 straight balls, and that inning obviously unraveled with 3 walks. Impressive display of catcher.
Definitely an expressive display.
He's down 0-2, unfortunately.
Yeah, not great, but he walked and had a nice hit earlier, so he's had a good offensive game from behind the plate. Or at the plate, not behind the plate.
Keeping things up with the not-so-great half innings for teams in Pennsylvania. The Phillies just gave up a 4 spot after putting up 3 of their own to the Red Sox. It's now 8-3. Not great.
No.
Runs come in bunches tonight. Not in Pennsylvania. That game's being played in Boston, but in Pennsylvania baseball teams. Let's check on the Pirates, too. Why not?
You know.
They lost 4-3.
Little mound meeting.
They lost 4-3, and all 3 of their runs came in one inning. How about that? There's something going on tonight. Something in the air. All the runs come at one time.
And I'll say, I was trying to look up some of the stats. Schollenberger sits at 6'1", so a good build for a catcher, able to stop those balls. And I just looked at, as he sends that one a little bouncer to third there, and he'll be safe. He's continued his good night.
He put that one in the spot that I don't think anyone can hit again. It was right on the third base infield grass where the dirt and the grass meet.
Yes.
And it took a hop. Well, that didn't even take a hop. It took a spin and just stayed low on the ground.
Home field advantage?
Really much, yeah. There wasn't really much that Spencer could do there over at third. It just rolled. He was expecting a hop. It just rolled right to his feet.
So Dylan Broderick steps in the box, but Schollenberger 6'1", able to block a lot of balls. And J.P. Kuzik hasn't really had to block that many balls, but I definitely felt like there was a stature difference between the catchers, and he's 5'6".
Indeed.
So
yeah, you would be correct. That does check out.
And that one, Schollenberger's going to steal on his own catcher there as that ball, maybe I just jinxed it there.
Foreshadowing was just insane there.
That ball slid back. Kuzik kind of bounces a couple feet there, halfway maybe between the backstop and home plate. So Schollenberger waits a little bit to make sure it was going to stop a little, die a little, and steal second there. So now runner in scoring position for the Blazers with 2 outs and a 3-0 count so far to Broderick.
Weird parallels once again. Dylan Broderick is the only runner on here with a chance to score the first run of the game. He was the one that scored the 2 runs in the doubleheader, the only 2 runs of the doubleheader.
And ball 4 there. And I'll take that as ball 4, but I think that's a pitch that we've seen called a strike a couple times.
Nice here for the Blazers just to get some runners on against Dudek, who is a very good pitcher, the Division I level at FDU.
Definitely, as Mike Pasco, the DH and 5th hitter of the lineup, steps in.
Pasco 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI and moved down to the 5 spot. He's been hitting cleanup a lot this year. That changed yesterday when Broderick took over.
Strike 1.
It's the 1-2 punch of Chestnut Hill players. Broderick and Pasco, both at the Chestnut Hill University as sophomores.
Ooh. And we see the base running misfortunes continue for the Blazers there as Schollenberger, I'm not sure if he was trying to steal a third or just took way too large of a lead.
He thought the ball was getting by. It bounced in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box, and Kuzik just picked it beautifully, and Schollenberger was caught.
So is that the 5th or 6th?
End of the 6th.
No, runners caught stealing.
Oh, I've lost track. You're going to have to count up during the break.
We'll come back to you after the break, but
we'll figure it out. So back here for the top of the seventh, things kind of unraveling for the Blazers. They are 1 run shy of the 10-run mercy rule. And Julie, I hear you have some information on why it may or may not be correctly called Scranton / Wilkes-Barre.
Well, I don't have information on that. I have
Okay.
information on the Wilkes-Barre hyphen.
Yeah, take it away.
Wilkes-Barre was named in honor of John Wilkes and Isaac Barry. Historians indicate that these two prominent members of the British Parliament were, quote, zealous advocates of the American cause, end quote. I mean, zealous is a fun... I think we need to use that in our
Yeah,
broadcast
so
more.
I'm going to need a couple of definitions on what 3 of those words meant. Zealous was one of them. 3-0 count. That one finds its own to Pazuski. It's 3-0. I love this shift back. I haven't gotten to do that in a while when a game has unraveled, you know, when you're just totally off topic.
Zealous definition: showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or objective.
I love it. I love the energy. We'll go with that. That's
Well,
great, man. I'm still questioning the slash,
we're-
but that's a start.
We're zealous advocates of the Blazers scoring a run in this game.
Yes, we are.
Look at us using our
Penn State.
vocab words.
Pazuski works the leadoff walk.
Miners, second baseman, number 6, Jack Mathis.
So it's Jack Mathis, the 9-hole hitter, as the 8-hole hitter reaches aboard with a leadoff walk. Mathis leading the team in the batting average category for the Miners. He's 1 for 2 today. He's hitting .320 coming into today. Don't have the updated numbers. Fouls that one back. Still Gannon Zemal on the mound for Quakertown. He's pitched well so far this season. 5 innings pitched, 3 of them in relief. 3 games in relief, pardon me. 1-0 overall record. 0 earned runs allowed. He's one of 3 bullpen pitchers for Quakertown that are yet to allow a run. Just issued his 3rd walk of the season, unfortunately, though. So Pazuski stands on first. 0-2 count now. Coming to Mathis. This one swung on and flown out to right under it. And so Woolwine, he will make the left side catch for out number 1.
And that's a hit that would have been really nice if it came in the 6th inning.
Yeah,
And not the top of the 7th, but
that's how it goes sometimes, man.
Miners, center fielder, number 8,
Um,
Evan Melberg.
also apparently the word is zealous. Rhymes with
okay.
jealous. Another word on the list of...
Yeah, you know, if I ever end up at the AAA affiliate of the New York Yankees, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, man, will I have some information for those listeners. Shout out Dylan Price. He was there last year. Just going to shout some people out. Pazuski still on first as Melberger, the leadoff hitter. He flies that one out of play down the left field side as the home plate umpire drops a baseball out of the, I don't know what you call that, the kangaroo compartment is what we're going to label it on the right hip. One retired here in the 7th. Runner on first. The pitch misses upstairs. So unfortunately for the Blazers, the offense just hasn't really come alive. 3 hits on the day. 4 walks, though. So they've been aboard, just not opportune hitting as Melberger swings and misses.
And another big killer for the Blazers. You know, the 9 hits versus 3 is the 3 errors they have compared to the 0. Errors really, really kill you.
Yeah, 1 from Ty Everett at third. A runner reached aboard safely at first. As the throw was offline, it took Broderick off the bag. And then the killer one was the one that got through the hole at second with Casey Vaughn just having it sneak under his glove, thinking he had a tailor-made double play. And ended up resulting in 2 runs afterwards. So it's now a 1-2 count with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Zemal's pitch, swing and a miss. Melberger down on strikes for out number 2.
Right fielder, number 23, Luke Kovac.
So Luke Kopak, the East Stroudsburg Division II caliber player. He will step in now. He's 1 for 3 thus far. He digs in with 2 gone. Pazuski still on first. The first pitch to him misses low and away. Just an interesting box score tonight, I will say. A lot of extras on the game changer in terms of stolen bases, caught stealing, errors, hit by pitch. A lot of going on. That one misses upstairs. It's 2-0 now to Kopak.
I kind of feel like this game. Did you ever read those Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Oh, brother. I have,
As a
actually,
kid?
yes. Yeah.
I don't
Mad
know. Do you
Libs, too.
feel? I
A little
don't.
bit. I get the vibe you're going
I
for there.
kind of, yeah, going off of trying to embody our favorite John Crut kind of vibes, I
Mhm.
think that's what I'm going with. This game just,
Chose its own adventure.
are you going to be caught stealing? Are you going to steal? Is the ball going to be hit to the player? Is it going to be hit in the other spot?
Hard hit ground ball over to third, and Ty Everett's able to deliver to first in time to end the inning. So one hitter left aboard, and Pazuski will head to the bottom of the seventh as the Blazers trail by 9. Mike Pasco will lead things off for the Blazers as they try to battle back in what quickly unraveled for them in the top half of the sixth, a 7 spot from Scranton. After plating a runner in the top half of the first and the top half of the third, they piled it on and made it 9-0. That's how we got here. And Pasco swings at the first pitch and grounds it hard through the left side for a leadoff base hit. He's aboard.
And that's a spark that we've been needing here.
Indeed.
But there has been a little bit of a spark. I think he's the third leadoff. I think I'm doing this. I think he's the third leadoff batter to make it on. So that's
improvement.
And that's earlier in the season.
As Woolwine skies this one in the air out to shallow center. Milberger is under it, and he makes the catch for a first pitch. First out of the inning.
Not even early on in the season, actually, just all season. The goal is to just get better from one game to another and hopefully win as many games as you can along the way. So we'll take leadoff batters getting on base.
Yeah, unfortunately, the home offense yet to come alive for the Blazers as they staring down the barrel of an 0-3 start at home at Memorial Park. But they'll be back in action on Saturday at home for a doubleheader against the Trenton Capitals. Following that, they'll be home again on Tuesday against Pocono, no S at the end, as I alluded to earlier. Following that, Wednesday at Scranton, who they are facing here, and then Thursday at Pocono again. So seeing some familiar opponents could help the offense as they see similar pitchers. This pitch to Kovac is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2 quickly. Kovac 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout, 2 for 17 overall through the first 8 games of the season as Dudek gets a swing and a miss. It hits the dirt. Kuzak is over to it. And he's not going to run it out. It was a little confusing. So Kachi will come to the plate. He was pinch hit, or pardon me, Carter Ryben was pinch hit for in place of Luke Kachi, who is now at the dish here. Kachi in his first plate appearance worked the walk. He takes that first pitch in for a strike. It's 0-1. Hit category, it's 9-4 in favor of the Miners. And in the errors category, as we talked about earlier, it's 0-3 in favor of the Miners. Swinging at this pitch, it's a hard ground ball to Spencer. He bobbles it out of the glove and quickly fires across. High velocity throw, it gets there in time For out number 3, so a runner left aboard and Mike Pasco as we head to the 8th. It's 9-0, the Miners lead. So Jake Milan will lead things off for the Miners. A new pitcher on the hill for the Blazers. It's Chris Perillo. Chris has appeared in 2 games so far this season. He has struggled with the control a little bit, walking 6 batters, and 10 of the batters that he's faced, he's walked 6. An opportunity here in a low leverage situation, a 9-run game, try to get the control back. He threw 28 pitches in the doubleheader on Saturday. He allowed only 1 hit, but 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and 3 walks. The righty from DeSales, his first pitch, it misses low. It's 1-0. Also had some trouble with pass balls, 3 wild pitches as well for Perillo. So just a chance here to try to get the command back in check as he works a swing and a miss from Milan. It's 1-1.
Definitely, and while keeping up with the Phillies, that kind of trend, Brandon Marsh began his rehab assignment with the Reading Phillies tonight, and so far, as that one's fouled off there, pulling up the box score.
The joys of getting double-A stats.
Yes, he's had 4 at-bats so far, as the game's tied 6-6 in the top of the 7th. 4 at-bats, he scored a run, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts.
We'll take it.
Batting .500, so best batting average of the starting Reading Phillies lineup here as he's played.
Not quite
in
the
one
Bryce
game.
Harper AAA rehab assignment, but he's got time
No.
to figure it out before if they give him AAA at-bats. We'll see. 2-2 count here from Perillo to Milan at the dish in the left-handed batter's box. The righty kicks and deals and gets a swing and a miss. First strikeout of the night for Perillo. That's out number 1.
Miners catcher, number 19, JP Kuzik.
The infield here for the Blazers. It's Ty Everett at third base. Casey Vaughn over to shortstop. Luke Kochi at second. Dylan Broderick at first. Chris Perillo on the bump. And Tyler Boraski catching behind home plate. The outfield in left field, it's Logan Sigg. Grayson Kovac is in center. And Mason Woolwine plays right. First pitch swinging here from J.P. Kuzik, the catcher. It goes foul. It's 0-1. Kuzik, he's 2 for 3 thus far with a pair of RBIs to his name.
Hmm. And it looks like there's some movement in the Miners bullpen. Some.
Potential closer trying to get 6
Mhm.
outs here to end the game as the 0-1 from Perillo misses low and away. It's 1-1. As part of the lineup's done a really good job. It's Kuzik with 2 RBIs, Munley the next 5-hole hitter, the DH. He's got 2 RBIs. Then Botker in left field, the 6 hitter. He's got 2 RBIs as well. Perillo's 1-1 with 1 out. Gets by the catcher Boraski and rolls to the backstop. Doesn't matter though, there's no runner on base. It's now 2-1. Mentioned at the start that these two teams are the lowest in offensive output runs scored wise in the ECCBL. Quakertown with 26 total runs in 7 games coming into the night. Now in 8 games, they've got only 26 as they are scoreless tonight. For Scranton coming into today, 23 runs. That's now up to 32. And their differential will rise as it was 23 runs scored to 21 runs allowed. The current score holds. It'll be 32-21, so making it plus 11. Look at me doing math. That was a little scary there. There's a couple of big numbers involved, 32 and 21. Could have gone wrong. So Perillo down on the count, 2-1. 1 retired in the 8th. Here's the pitch to Kuzik. He skies this one in the air out to center. Ranging to his left is Kovac. He's under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
And looking up, why we're here. Boraski's also another 6'1" catcher. So
Keep
the
him with the
Blazers,
Number 20,
recruiting some tall catchers.
Devin Marker.
Shout out to the home plate umpire for alerting us to the pinch hitter there. It's very nice of him.
If he was mic'd up,
Yeah.
we wouldn't need that.
Right, he could just shout it out through the mic. It's a little surprising. I guess not surprising. It is a 9-run game, but it's Patrick Munley who is pinch hit for. He was 3 for 4 on the night. He did his job well in the designated hitter spot. 2 RBIs and a run scored as well. It's now Markert who will pinch hit for him. Down to the count, 0-1 with 2 retired. Perillo deals low. It's 1-1.
With a 9-0 lead, you might as well give some guys some at-bats, and especially
Keep them fresh.
if you're the Miners, you've seen a little bit of the struggle from the Blazers bullpen. Chris, I would say, has probably pitched the most control coming in from the bullpen. Maybe DeCiato too. So knowing that the control has been lacking a little bit and you have a 9-run cushion, I think it's smart of them to incorporate some more bench players into this game.
Final line for Ken Zima, 1 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, and a strikeout. Perillo, the new pitcher, he fires one low. It's 1-2, or pardon me, now 2-2. Markert at the dish. He is a junior from Wilkes at the Division III level, even at the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 retired here in the 8th. Here's the pitch from Perillo. Hard ground ball hit to second base. Kachi's over to his right and throws across in time for the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll move into the bottom of the 8th inning as the Blazers try to battle back from a 9-run deficit. Stay with us here on the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel. Logan Sig will lead things off in the bottom of the 8th inning. A new pitcher on the hill for the Scranton Miners. It's Dustin Ferraro, the righty who pitched on Tuesday against Quakertown. He went 2 innings in that outing. He faced 6 batters, allowed 2 hits. Scoreless, though, so he did his job well. He stranded a runner. His first pitch to Sig is high and inside. It's 1-0. The infield from left to right, Spencer, Pazuski, Mathis, and Milan for the Miners. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball, slow roller to Milan over at first base. He steps on the bag for out number 1.
And that's something we've seen so far in the doubleheader here that's just kind of been unfortunate is the Blazers are making contact. It's not like they're not putting their bats on the balls. Just so many of the balls that they hit go to that position player. And unfortunately, that's not the luck that they get when they're in the field on defense.
Yeah, it's the old adage. Not about how hard you hit it, it's about where you hit it. So Sig is the leadoff hitter, and he is retired. And the lineup turns over to Casey Vaughn. He swings at the second pitch of the AB, and that flies out of play over the pavilion. Vaughn 0 for 3 today in the leadoff spot. Started at second and then moved over to shortstop. Other way around, pardon me. Started at shortstop and moved over to second. 2 strikeouts tonight for him as well. He's even to the count at 1-1 and now ahead at 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 count with 1 retired in the bottom half of the 8th as Vaughn hits this one well out to right center field, arranging back into the gap is the center fielder Melberger, and it'll roll all the way to the wall. Vaughn's digging into second. He's putting on the Jets and headed for 3. The relay throw is not in time. A 1-out triple for Casey Vaughn.
And I mean, that ball was hit hard. But that is also, that was just beautifully hit. Beautifully hit. Hard ball, beautifully hit between that right fielder and center fielder. Right underneath, they're a little blurry on the stream, but underneath that second light from the left is a good
description.
Good marker.
Yeah. Out in right center as the outfield shades a little bit left. This is a ground ball that's going to score a run. An RBI here as Vaughn comes across as Ty Everett picks up the RBI ground out, and it's 9-1.
Blazers catcher number 2, Tyler Borowski.
So the Blazers are not shut out at home. Same story as the previous 2 games in the doubleheader on Saturday. They unfortunately fell behind quickly early, but put up a run. Did not get shut out at home, so you could say that. So Everett picks up the RBI. That is his 4th of the season, or pardon me, 3rd of the season. I'm looking at the wrong player.
I think another positive outlook is scoring that 1 run in the bottom of the 8th. Hopefully they can tack on more in their next 1 1/3 inning here. But, not being down in a 9-hole and not giving up.
Check swing is popped right over to first, and Milan is there to make the catch for out number 3. So the Blazers played a run via a triple from Casey Vaughn and a Ty Everett RBI ground out. We move to the 9th. It's 9-1. Josh Botker due to lead things off here for the Miners in the top half of the ninth. It's a 9-1 ball game, and Grayson Kovac will step onto the bump in relief of Chris Perillo, who pitched a 1-2-3 inning in relief in the last half inning, recording a strikeout and allowing no hits. So Kovac's day in center is done, and now he moves on to the bump. Still are yet to get someone on Game Changer in terms of who the center fielder is, so I can't tell you that yet.
Right now, we just have a nice SF.
Yes,
CF.
CF. Same thing.
Same
First pitch is low to Botker.
math letters.
Yeah, same thing. 9-1 ball game. The hit category 9-5 in favor of the Miners as that one misses. It's 2-0 now to Botker. Ben Jones, he got the start tonight for the Blazers. His final line was 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, with a walk and 2 strikeouts issued. 2-0 pitch coming from Kovac to Botker. It misses low. It's 3-0. A lot of movement going on now if you're following along trying to score this game, which some of us up here are trying to do, and it's getting a little chaotic as a 4-pitch walk is issued to Botker. He takes the base.
Now batting for the Miners, number 21, Luke Spencer.
So Luke Spencer, the third baseman, will stand in now. He was put into the field for O'Brien. And now at the dish in the right-handed batter's box. With Botker on first, the first offering, 2 misses low. It's 1-0. We thank you for tuning in wherever you are out there tonight on the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel. I'm Rocco Pellegrino, joined alongside Julia Henry. Here for tonight's ECCBL matchup. Interdivision matchup in the Northern Division of the East Coast Collegiate Baseball League as this pitch is grounded right over to third. It gets by Everett through the wickets, and it'll be first and second with nobody out.
Miners shortstop, number 11, Zach.
And they're going to give Everett
An error.
his second error
Yeah, it's
of the
gonna be an
night there. And that's just a
Get him out,
tough
Mel.
one. I mean, I felt his glove was down, and I don't really know. I think the Blazers infield still isn't exactly used to how the balls are bouncing on this dirt here.
First pitch misses from Kovac. Scores around the league. It's getting a little chaotic in one of the other games going on. 2-0 final. South Jersey defeats Mercer. 2-0 final. Southside defeats Pocono. 9-1 here. Scranton leads Quakertown. And in the Capitals Generals game, both of those teams from Trenton, it is now 12-12. Talk about chaotic. 12-12 ball game.
It's
ECCBL.
24.
Welcome. It's now the bottom of the ninth as well. And the Generals.
Oh.
Yes, the Generals have 2 runners aboard with nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. We'll await a final there. As both of those teams in the Southern Division of the ECCBL, but still fun to keep an eye on. This one's flown out of play foul. If you are still yet to hear what the playoff format is for the ECCBL, the way it goes is the top 3 teams in each division, the North and the South, will make the playoffs. The 4th will be eliminated. The 2 and the 3 seed will play each other in a play-in game, and both 1 seeds will get a bye. The winner of the play-in game will then face the 1 seed in the opposite division in a best-of-3 series. That one is in there for a backwards K as Pazuski is down on strikes. That's out number 1.
Now batting second baseman, number 6, Jack Matthews.
And once you get past the semifinals in that best-of-3 series, it heads right to the championship game. It is not a series. It is a best-of-1, winner-take-all. The semifinals and the playoff championship game in the ECCBL will be played here at Quakertown Memorial Field in late July, as well as the All-Star Game. So Memorial Park getting to host a lot of big events here in the inaugural season of the ECCBL. Swing and a miss from Mathis. It's 0-1. Probably a little confusing to keep up with, but
Yes, and I was going to say, I don't know if it picks up on the stream here, but, we're still in the top of the first, top of the ninth, and the first strikeout call in the top of the ninth. Once again, very emphatic.
He's keeping the energy, the home plate
Yes.
ump. We unfortunately did not get his name, but he's been keeping the ump, or keeping the, it's been a long night for all of us. Keeping the energy up. There it is. Words. First and second here, it's Spencer on first, Botker on second for the Miners. At the plate, it's Mathis. He's 1 for 3 thus far, even to the count. 1-1, and now 2-1.
And throughout the game, I've been trying to watch that American flag that's right out in center, right above that 390 sign, and it's been minimal wind throughout the whole night. But I think we can officially say the wind has died here, as that flag is
Yes.
flopping
Nowhere.
flat against that flagpole there.
2-1 count from Kovac to Mathis. He delivers. It's fouled back into the backstop. It's now 2-2. The Trenton Capitals, I was just talking about in that 12-12 ball game with the Trenton Generals, they're on top of the Southern Division. Currently at 5-4 overall. In the north-south side, coming into today was first as well in the Northern Division. That one's in there for a backwards K. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kovac. 2 retired here in the ninth. And Southside did win today.
Evan Melberger.
So Southside now 6-2, up to a 5-game winning streak. It's now 13-12. The Trenton Generals have won that ball game. What a scene there, I'm sure that was. 13-12, a walk-off win at home in the bottom of the ninth. So the Generals improved to 4-5-1. The Capitals dropped to 5-5. Keeping our eyes all around the ECCBL here in the inaugural season. 0-1 now is the count from Kovac to Melberger, the leadoff hitter and the center fielder. He swings at this offering and flies it out to left center. Ranging back into his left is Siggett. It's over his head and will roll all the way to the wall. Botker will get the wave. He'll score standing up. Coming around third is Spencer. He will score standing up as well. And it's a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Melberger. It's 11-1.
Now batting for the Miners, right fielder number 23, Louis Kovac.
So expanding the lead now up to 10. The mercy rule, I don't believe, can go into effect anymore, as the Blazers will have to bat in the bottom of the ninth. So either way, we're playing this thing out for the stats, I guess.
And I think this is a correct observation that just popped into my head now. But I believe every player on Scranton has just a plain white batting helmet. I think we tracked
I think
it.
I'm looking around. Besides is that guy on first? No, he's not.
No,
Besides
that's the base coach.
they have a player playing first base coach. Sorry, that threw me off. Yeah, besides the base coaches, they're all wearing white. I guess that's
Yeah.
one way to differentiate between hitter and base coach.
Well, I just think it's interesting. The Blazers and we saw the Mercer Mammoths, each player was wearing their collegiate helmet.
Yeah, I
So-
saw a Villanova helmet.
Mm-hmm.
It looked
For
pretty
Mercer,
cool, I
they're-
can't lie. It was probably the coolest batting helmet I've seen
It
up
did.
close.
I did really like that helmet.
High
but-
chopper to short. Vaughn thought about going to second, but there's nobody running, and then he throws across the diamond in time for out number 3. So the Miners support their lead and add some insurance runs. They make it a 10-run ball game. We head to the bottom of the ninth. The Blazers with 3 outs. They trail by 10. So the Blazers have 3 outs to work with. They trail 11-1. Still been a little bit of a bummer from the bullpen, I would say, as the bats have also not come alive, but that's just the nature of baseball. It's a long season, just one game here. Unfortunately, the home offense has not really come to play either, as the Blazers now with only 3 runs scored in 3 games here at Memorial Park.
And during that mid-inning change, just staring into left center at that scoreboard there, Scranton kept up a trend in the 4th through 9th inning, a 6-inning trend where they would go 2 innings without scoring, and then on that 3rd inning they scored multiple runs, and they did that in the 6th and in the 9th. I'm not sure if it has really any significance, but it's
You're
just
gonna pick up on stuff on
fun
it.
trends, for those who can't see the scoreboard at home.
Hard hit ground ball from Broderick up the middle for a leadoff base hit. He's aboard. And Pasco comes to the plate.
Now batting for the Blazers, designated hitter number 10, Mike Pasco.
So it's still Ferraro on the hill for Scranton as Broderick gets his first hit of the night. He's now 1 for 3. Pasco comes to the plate now in the right-handed batter's box. He is 1 for 3 as well. First pitch to him, he takes it low for a ball. It's 1-0. So this is the second of 6 times that the Blazers will play Scranton, as this one's fouled back. And by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to become a 1-1 season series so far. As the Blazers won game 1 on Tuesday, 3-1. That one's low in the dirt. It's now 2-1. It's Broderick over at first base. He reached aboard with his 9th hit of the season. He's now 9 for 25. Swing and a miss there from Pasco. It's 2-2. Broderick and Pasco, the 2 Chestnut Hill players. Pasco was hitting .338 this season at the collegiate level. That's second on the team at Chestnut Hill, behind only Dylan Broderick, who was 8 for 16, which you could say maybe the sample size isn't there, but 8 for 16 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. We're going to mention it, and we're going to count it.
Definitely.
So Broderick stands on first, and the payoff pitch is low, and Mike Pasco works a no-out walk. It's first and second now.
Right fielder number 31, Mason Woolwine.
So Woolwine comes to the plate, and oddly enough, I mean, the Blazers have shown signs of being able to stay alive here despite this one a bigger deficit. But in the 7th, in the first game of the doubleheader, they showed some signs of life. They brought the tying run to the plate. This one a little bit different, but there's still 2 runners on with nobody out as Woolwine takes the first pitch strike from Ferraro.
I mean, hey, why not have a 11-inning bottom of the 9th?
Yeah, throw it in there. Why not? Woolwine swings at the second pitch of the AB, and it's skied into shallow right field, arranging over and calling everybody off is the second baseman, Mathis, and that's out number 1. Can't tell if it's a pinch hitter yet. Can't see the number either. Kovac.
Now batting for the Blazers, center fielder number 14, Grayson Kovac.
So Kovac, he pitched in the top half of the 9th. Now he comes to the dish, and he takes the first pitch low and inside. It's 1-0. Woolwine 0 for 3 on the night, but he did have that crazy play out in right field where he kept the ball in the yard and then threw it in. The relay throw nabbed the runner. As this one rolls all the way to the backstop, Broderick will advance to third, and Pasco's in there at second. Starting pitcher in this game for Scranton was Mamoli. He went 4 1/3, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 4 Ks, so he's not eligible for the win. 2-0 pitch coming to Kovac. It's a hard hit fly ball fouled on the left field side.
That would have been nice if it was fair.
Some electricity in the building. Wouldn't mind a home run call either. So Kovac now still ahead in the count, 2-1. One retired here in the bottom of the 9th. That's Ferraro trying to close out a 6-out save. This pitch, the off speed. Missed upstairs. It's 3-1. Base open at first. That's Kovac 0 for 3 on the afternoon, trying to work his first walk of the season. Kovac, a hard hit ground ball down the left field side, and that'll drop in for a hit. It'll roll all the way to the corner. 2 runs will score, and Kovac is on his way to second with a 2 RBI, 1 out double.
I'm just saying our little announcers jinx is really working well tonight. I mean, this is like Easter egg maybe. I mean, this is like the 5th or 6th time. That's what I was thinking if it went fair right along that line. Boom. What does he do?
So 2 runs here in the bottom of the 9th as the Blazers padding the run differential, and they also add to the offensive output this season. They came into today with 26 runs scored. That's now up to 29. So nice piece of hitting there from Kovac. He was a tad early on the previous pitch. That one he turns on, and he keeps it fair. First pitch there is in for a strike to Carter Ryben, the shortstop. Or check that, Luke Kochi, who's in the game for him. Kochi is 0 for 1 with a walk. And he turns on one down the left field side. That one hooks foul again. So they're reading the pitches here from Ferraro in the 9th.
That's what I was going to say. When it's, I'll count that as the 3rd ball, basically in the same zone. They must have a pretty good read on him.
0-2 count with 1 gone in the 9th. Keeping it alive is Kochi.
And that one kind of.
Let's go into the dugout.
Oh, it went into the Scranton dugout there, foul on the 3rd base line, and it bounced up and hit the back of that guy's leg. It was a fun one.
Keeping it interesting in the 9th. 0-2 count with 1 retired. The runner on second, that's Kovac. Then it misses outside. 1-2 to Kochi. Kochi 0 for 1 with a walk. He worked his 2nd walk of the season earlier tonight. 1-2 pitch. High fly ball in the foul territory down the 3rd base side, and that will drop just shy of the bullpen. The 3rd baseman, Spencer, not able to get over to it. The count stays 1-2. Kochi at the dish. He is now 4 for 21 this season.
Later in these innings, after, learning the ump zone, I would give credit to the Blazers, I think, for just staying alive and getting the tip of their bat on some of these pitches that would be called strikes very outside.
That one misses outside again. It's 2-2. Kovac, who just came out with that 2 RBI double. That was his 2nd extra base hit of the season and his 1st and 2nd RBI of the 2024 year. 2-2 pitch with 1 gone, and the 9th it's flown back and out of play. Kochi stays alive. It's Logan Sigg, the 9-hole hitter. He's due up on deck if it gets to him. 2-2 pitch with 1 gone. Misses low and away. Payoff pitch coming to Kochi. Kochi, 191 batting average with 6 RBIs at the collegiate level. Division I at Lafayette. He swings and fouls this one back.
And this is a battle.
It is. I've seen a couple of 8+ pitch at-bats. The next pitch will be the 9th to Luke Kochi, and that one misses low and away. He works a walk, and the 9-hole hitter Sigg is coming to the plate.
Blazers left fielder number 68, Logan Sigg.
So Sigg steps in now to the right-handed batter's box as Ferraro trying to get these final 2 outs of the game. For a 6-out save, that one is way upstairs as the catcher, J.P. Kuzik, shakes his head a little bit.
Did he make a motion down?
Possibly. That might have explained the upset look. Kovac at second, Kochi at first. Holding up towards the neck is Ferraro, and he deals. It's fouled off down the 3rd base side. Botker out in left field still. Melberger in center. And in right, it's Kopak for the Miners. Left to right in the infield, it's Spencer, Pazuski, Mathis, and Milan. Ferraro pitching on the hill to J.P. Kuzik. It's a 1-1 count with one gone in the bottom of the ninth. Ferraro deals upstairs again, and it's now 2-1. 10 hits to 6 in this game in favor of the Miners. 1-1 pitch. Flown in the air in the infield. Second baseman Mathis is under it, awaiting, and he will make the catch for out number 2. And the Blazers down to their last out.
Blazers second baseman, number 4, Casey Vaughn.
So Vaughn will come to the plate after recording a triple on his last at-bat and then coming around to score the first run of the game for Quakertown. That was off the bat of Ty Everett, an RBI ground out. He represents the last gasp now for the Blazers, and he swings the first offering, fouling it back. It's 0-1.
And that one went way to the side, probably into the volleyball court, if you're familiar with Memorial Park here in Quakertown.
Can't say. Actually, I am familiar with the volleyball court, yeah. Played a lot of that senior year of high school. Haven't gone back since. Learned I was not a great volleyball player. 0-1 pitch, misses low to Vaughn. It's 1-1. Keep hitting on the Phillies updates. It's now 9-3, the Red Sox lead in the bottom of the 8th. Not ideal. 0-1 pitch to Vaughn. He's able to stab that one off.
That's another one that just able to stab it off and stay alive. And that's a credit I'll give the Blazers. I think some teams struggle sometimes staying alive and being able to just get the bat on the ball.
1-2 pitch with 2 outs in the ninth is flown out to center field. Charging in is Melberger, and he makes the catch to end the game. And the Miners take this one 11-3 over the Blazers, and they keep Quakertown winless at home. A solid outing from the offense of the Miners, headlined by a barrage of runs in the top half of the 6th. They plated 7 in that half inning. They scored first in the top half of the first, making it a 1-0 game. Following that in the top half of the third, they scored again. It was 2-0, and then they did not look back after that. 9-0 heading into the 8th inning before Quakertown plated a run. It was Casey Vaughn who came across to score off the bat of Ty Everett on an RBI ground out. Following that, Scranton scored 2 more insurance runs in the 9th, and Quakertown added 2 more of their own to pad the stats a little bit, making it an 11-3 final. So, Julia, before we sign off, final thoughts.
Final thoughts, I think compared offense, I think the big struggle is getting it started early. Definitely we saw some offense in the bottom of the 9th. We saw offense in the bottom of the 7th in that doubleheader. And the Blazers really need to get their offense first pitch of the game in bottom of the first inning. So I think that's a big key. But at least there was offense in the bottom. At least we saw some. So, and another big key I think throughout this season is the bullpen. The bullpen just has struggled at having that consistency. They have the speed. The speed and the velocity's there, but so far the control and location hasn't been.
Yeah, it was a tough spot. We didn't see Cody Barbario enter this game, and unfortunately the Blazers bullpen kind of unraveled in the 7th as Ben Jones is the losing pitcher in this game. He went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits with 2 runs, but it was Malachi Duca who came in and only recorded 1 out. He allowed 4 runs, 1 of them earned 3 walks and a strikeout. Following that, it was Caden DiCiotto who came into the game. He only recorded 1 out. He allowed 1 hit, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, and a walk. Caden Zemal was able to come into the game after that he was able to record the 3rd out in that inning finally, and then he pitched the next inning. His final line, a hit and a walk issued. Chris Perlow and Kovac also come in relief. Perlow, a scoreless outing. Good for him to get the control back up. Unfortunately, the offense, though, for the Blazers just did not come through at opportune times, and the base running as well, kind of a question mark. But still early on in the season, and they will see the Miners 4 more times after this. So, bit of an interesting game to say the least. The final 11-3, the winning pitcher, Mamoli for the Miners, the losing pitcher, Ben Jones for the Blazers. From Rocco Pellegrino and Julia Henry, we are here on the Quakertown Blazers YouTube channel all throughout the season. We thank you for tuning in, and we are signing off here tonight from Quakertown Memorial Park. We'll see you around.